Hello students, I hope you all are doing well. In previous video we had done second unit of your GK textbook, that is Sports World, and in this unit we discussed about sports terminology, tennis grand slams, sports venues, Asian games and sports movies. Now in today's session we will do unit 3rd of your general knowledge book, that is Fun with Words. So let's start. First of all, let's take a view on the topics that we will discuss here. So in this unit, we will discuss prefix and suffix, phrasal verbs, modal verbs, incredibles, idioms, famous fictional detectives. So starting with first chapter, that is prefix and suffix. What are prefix and suffix? These are the groups of letters that are added to an existing or root word to create a new word with a different meaning. And for prefix is placed at the beginning of the root word while suffix is placed at the end. Clear? So in this chapter, in first exercise, you have to circle the prefix that should be added to each root word. Root words are given here, and then you have to match the meaning of the new word form. Root words are given, options of prefix has given, and meaning of the new words are given. You have to just pick up the perfect prefix that is suitable with the root words and with meaning of the new words. Okay? So before that, some rules are here how to add prefix with the words. So the prefix dis, D-I-S, this we used with mainly with vowels. Okay, like agree. For this we use disagree, and meaning is to not agree. Okay. Next is miss, M-I-S. This we use to at the beginning of the verbs to show the action that done wrongly or badly. Means to behave inappropriately, we use misbehave. Okay. Next is re. This we used for repetition, and it is used mainly with verbs. For example, to appear again means it is appear again and again. For this we use reappear. Okay. Next is pre. This is used as a abbreviation for previous. Means to pay in advance, we use the word prepay. Okay. Last one is un. This we used with adjective to create into a negative form. Means to loosen ropes or laces, we use untie. Clear? Where we use this prefix? Okay. Now in second exercise, you have to circle the suffix that should be added to each root word to match the meaning of the new word form. Okay. First root word is strong, and the meaning of the new word is the most strong. See here, most is given, means it is of the superlative degree of adjective. So we used EST, and the new word is strongest. Okay. Next is less. Word is fear, and the meaning of the new word is without fear. Okay. So something which we add for without any quality, we use less, L-E-S-S. So for without fear, we use fearless. Clear? Next is finished, E-D. This view that we had done to end something means finished. Next, color. Meaning of the new word is having many color. Okay. For this we use full, F-U-L. It shows the quality. That is, it has the many color, means it is colorful. Okay. Next is sing, and the meaning of the word is a person who sing. The suffix er, it is added to verb to make a noun with meaning. That is, for sing, singer. For dance, dancer. Clear? So this is about the first chapter, that is prefix and suffix. Now moving towards next, that is phrasal verbs. Okay. If it is not clear on the screen, you can see in your book also. It is given. Phrasal verbs. Phrasal verb is a phrase made with combination of verb and an adverb or preposition or both. And the meaning of the phrasal verb is different from that of the original verb. Okay? That phrasal verb is a combination of adverb or preposition or both, and the meaning is different from the original verb. Okay? In first exercise, you have to underline the phrasal verbs that is given in the sentence. So in first, the firefighters work hard to put out the raging fire. In this, the phrasal word is put out. Okay, you have to underline put out. Second is, Shrikant always looks up to his grandfather. In this, you have to underline the looks up. Next, Florentia was eager to try on her new shoes. In two phrasal verbs are given, eager to and try on. Both you have to underline. In fourth, the principal decided to call off the exams due to heavy rain. In this, yes, call off. Last one, a fight broke out in the stadium during the football match. In this, the phrasal word is broke out. Okay? So in second exercise, you have to match the phrasal verbs with their meaning. First, I will tell you some meaning of the phrasal verbs. If the word is given look into, it means examine. Turn off for switched off. Give back means return. Walk out means leave. Carry on, continue. Put down means save. Put in, claim. Put off means postpone, put off or call off. Then put away means tidy. Okay, so you have to match this with their meaning. First is look ahead. In this, it means to think about the future and make plans. Next one is look after, that is to care of someone or something. Okay, next is look up to, means to admire someone. Now next is for put. Put down. It means to make someone feel low about himself or herself. Next, put away, to delay or tidy. Put up with, to tolerate it. Okay. Next is with the word get. Get along, to survive. Get away means to escape from death. And get by, it is to be on the good terms with someone, we used it. Next is up, turn up, that is to arrive. Make up, to invent a story, make up a story, we use the words, phrasal words. Give up means to stop trying to do something. Okay, so these are the phrasal verbs with their meaning. Now next chapter is about modal verbs. See about the modal verbs. Modal verbs means will, can, may or ought to be are used with main verbs to suggest their ability, possibility, obligation and for permission. They are also called helping or auxiliary verbs. Okay. So two options are given for each fill in the blanks. You have to select the correct one. That first is given, is there is a lot of traffic on the road. We dash miss the flight. You have to select might or should. See, if there is little possibility, we use might. And for large possibility, we use should. So we might miss the flight. Might we will write. Okay. Second is you dash have to go to school tomorrow as it's a holiday. So it is should not we will use. Okay. That means large possibility. Next is you have to select between can and could. Dash you hear the loud music from the other room. Means you are asking that can you hear the loud music from the other room. Next is about I dash like to buy a gift for my mother. I would like to buy a gift for my mother. Okay? You are giving the suggestion that I would like to buy a gift for my mother. It's not compulsory that you should have to buy the gift for mother. Okay? Next one is you dash disturb animals in the zoo. Cannot means it's your ability about that you cannot disturb. It's not correct. You must not disturb animals in the zoo. Okay? In second exercise, you have to rewrite the sentence using the correct modal verbs. So verbs are given, you have to use the correct words. That is, first one, I am not sure whom this book belongs to. It has to be Amaya's. So instead of has to be, we use it must be Amaya's. And you will write I am not sure whom this book belongs to. It must be Anaya's. Okay. Next is Jacob must to meet his aunt yesterday as she was leaving the town. Jacob should meet. You are giving suggestion to Jacob that Jacob should meet his aunt yesterday as she was leaving the town. Okay. Third, the child may be hungry. He has not eaten all day. The child might be hungry. Okay. You have to use the modal verbs instead of that verbs. So might be hungry. He has not eaten all day. Fourth one, I does not want to wake up early in the morning. With I, we use do not. This you already know that I do not want to wake up early in the morning. Next, can I use your phone? I need to make an urgent call. May I use your phone? I need to make an urgent call. Okay, so next chapter is about incredible idioms. See, an idiom is a phrase or a group of words that has a special meaning that is different from the literal meaning of each word. Means we use these words to emphasize that words. For example, it is raining cats and dogs. It is the idioms. It does not mean that cats and dogs are falling from the sky, but it is an interesting way of saying it is raining heavily. Okay, so some idioms are given here. You have to match with their meanings. So first is hit the books. Okay, and the meaning of this is to study very hard. That is F option, to study very hard. Second is pass with flying colors. This is to pass an exam or test with a high score. Option B. Third is burn the midnight oil. It means to study or work late into the night. Option G. Fourth is blow your own trumpet. It means to boast about your own achievement to others. Fifth, have butterflies in the stomach. It means to feel nervous. For nervous we use that we are feeling butterflies in the stomach. Next, sixth is when pigs fly. And it means something that is unlikely to happen. Okay. So for cry crocodile tears, it means to shed false tears or pretend to be sad. That if someone is pretending that they are crying or they are sad, we use that they are crying a crocodile tears. Okay, that false tears or pretended to be sad. Eighth, let the cat out of the bag. It means to reveal the secret. Okay. So this is about some idioms are given here with their meanings that are important to know. Next chapter about the fictional detectives. So about detectives, they investigate the crime. So throughout the year, detective fictions authors have created a number of detectives, some of whom become popular as individual character rather than a part of work they feature in. Okay, particular character are famous. You might have seen that series of Tintin. Okay, so detectives are here Thompson and Thompson. Sherlock you have seen. So some options, descriptions are given here. You have to match with the fictional detectives that are given in the help box in your book. Okay, so first one, in first picture, this is a group of child detectives created by Enid Blyton. The children, along with a dog named Timmy, go on adventure during their vacations and solve mysteries. So this description is about the famous five. Okay. Second is, these fictional child detective created by Enid Blyton go on adventure during their school term. The children are part of secret club with the Peter as the head, and the numbers of the club have a secret password, the secret badge, and even a secret headquarters. So for this, it is a secret 7, option B. Now third, this character is the amateur detective in her teens. She lives in a small town of River Heights with her best friend Bess and George. This character first appeared in the book The Secret of the Old Clock. So this character is Nancy Drew, option D. Fourth, you might have seen this character. These two fictional detectives were created by a cartoonist, Hirsch, for the comic series The Adventure of Tintin. They are not very bright or can be distinguished apart only by the shape of their mustache. So these characters are Thompson and Thompson. Now next is fifth one. These fictional teenage brothers are amateur detectives. They first appear in the book The Tower Treasure, and the boys are often aided in solving mysteries by their father, who is a professional detective. So this character is the Hardy Boys. Sixth one, the fictional Belgian detective is created by an author, Agatha Christie. He is a punctual and orderly. Murder on the Orient Express is the mystery novel he is featured in. So this character is featured in Hercule Poirot, option F. Now seventh, this fictional character is a private detective created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He is associated with a doctor named John Watson in solving mysteries. The Hound of the Baskervilles is considered one of the best novels featuring this detective. So this detective is used for Sherlock Holmes. Okay? So that's all for today. I hope you all get it very well. Thank you.